For now, what we know about Cosmic Fury's story is that they are going to travel to space and discover new cosmic abilities that will help them to stop Lord Zed from returning and save the universe. This is the basic story that the synopsis of the season tells us, but this only gives us a few details that we basically already knew. Some of these details are very obvious since with the name of the season we can know that the theme is going to be space, so obviously they must travel to space. The second obvious thing is that at the end of Dino Fury they mention Lord Zed, so we already knew that this villain would be present in this new season. The last obvious thing was the new powers, since the Rangers have new costumes and this has always meant that there is a new power. In the internet, there are many rumors and some of them we have already talked about in this channel, although the last rumor was not mentioned. One of the things that is being said all over the internet about the story of this new season is that Ollie is going to be part of the villains, as they are going to confuse him again as it happened in Dino Fury. Although this has been a very strong rumor, I really don't think that will happen, since it would be repeating the same story from Dino Fury and that would be pretty boring. Besides that, I think the Rangers would already be better prepared to recognize when a team member is being used by a villain, since the experience with Ollie worked for them to learn about that situation. Another theory that has appeared on the internet and that we already talked about on this channel is the appearance of the Dark Ranger, and this is something that can happen because according to the story this Ranger must be on his planet of origin. If they use the history of the comics, then we know that this Ranger can be anywhere in space, and if the Rangers will be traveling through space, then it is possible that they have an encounter with this Ranger and perhaps join forces to destroy an enemy. What we are still not sure about this Ranger is if the Dark Energem could corrupt him and he could become a villain again. This does not happen in the comics, but we know that the story of the comics and the story of the TV series are different on many occasions. If the Dark Ranger was corrupted by the evil power that is in the Dark Energem, then maybe this Ranger can join Lord Zed, and this would be a very dangerous thing for the Rangers. Another thing that has been talked about a lot on the internet is about a new Orange Ranger, which we also talked about in the channel, and we presented a possible design of how the costume would look like. Obviously, this design is nothing official, it is just something that I created to be able to imagine how an orange suit could look like. According to the theory, it is said that Izzy's girlfriend could be this new Ranger, and in some posts made by some Rangers we could see some orange objects that could be the weapons of this new Ranger. We could also see all the designs of the team's costumes, and among all these designs we could see an orange one. This was what basically increased the suspicions of the theory and is basically proof that this theory is very likely to be true. All of these are theories that have been thrown all over the internet, and all the sites that talk about Power Rangers have gone crazy publishing all of this, but very few people have created their own theories of what this new season should be. We should start by saying that this new season is the 30th season of the franchise, a very special season because even though we have a special episode to celebrate the 30th anniversary, even so, the 30th season should be just as special. In this season we have many changes. One of the biggest changes is that there will only be 10 episodes. This basically limits the creators a lot, since they must concentrate on all the important parts of the story and not add so many filler scenes. This seems to be something negative since we would have less chapters to watch, but in reality, if they work it in the right way, then it would be something positive, since we would have chapters full of drama and action, without having to swallow the filler scenes that most of the time are garbage. Another very important thing that we already know is that they are not going to use Sentai scenes, They are only going to use the scenes of the Megazords, and this is something very important. If they don't use the Sentai scenes, that means that they can be more creative with the story, and that freedom will give them all the power to decide which way to go. An example I can give them is the battle locations, because if they have Sentai scenes, then they no longer have the power to choose the location of the battles, and they have to go with the scenes they already have. Another example is production photography. This means lighting, colors, composition, and all these things that make a shoot look good and feel professional. It's not the same to make a film with mediocre lighting, than to make a film with excellent lighting based on the subject you want to bring. The colors of a production are very important because they can change the emotions of the viewer. An example of this is the Harry Potter movies, which always had dark lighting with shades of blue or green, and all the colors were opaque. This gave a sense of suspense, drama, and darkness to the movie, and this is the same thing they can achieve with Power Rangers. This was a very difficult thing to achieve using Sentai scenes, because if the scenes in the Japanese version had the wrong lighting for the theme that Power Rangers wanted to carry, then they couldn't do much, maybe change the colors a little bit, but the end result is not as good if they did it all from scratch. Cosmic Fury has many advantages and many possibilities to become one of the best seasons in the history of the franchise. In this 30th season, to celebrate this anniversary, they should include old Rangers in several episodes to commemorate the entire history of the franchise. If they are going to be all over space, then they could call on Rangers from in space, Lost Galaxy, Time Force, and maybe bring back the Phantom Ranger. This would give an extra energy to the series that would take it to the next level and bring a little nostalgia to the story. Now that Power Rangers has the opportunity to create everything without using the Sentai scenes, then it should prove that this was a good decision, and they should give us the best season of the franchise. If you would like to see the Phantom Ranger in Cosmic Fury, give this video a like, and subscribe for more space travel in Power Rangers.